Hey guys, Todd with Great Escape Farms. Today I am doing some harvesting of elderberries. I'll harvest them, wash them, and put them away in a freezer until I collect enough. So they ripen at different times. This frond right here, you can see it is fully ripe. The berries are all black. That's what I'm looking for. These right here, I still have some that are purple and green in there. Actually, quite a few that are. Some are black. So that one I will not pick today. Let me see this one right here. This one is all purple. So I'll pick a few, and what I will do, hopefully I can catch it in my bowl here. So I have a little bowl down there, and normally I don't let them drop, but doing this one-handed, I'm gonna kind of have to. I will cut it. If I had good sharp cutters here. There you go. And drop them in. So that's what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna fill this bowl up or get as many as are ready in here, and then I'll move to the next step. Okay, so I have a bowl full that I'm gonna go ahead and process here in a moment. I just wanted to show you I have a bush here, a bush there. The two bushes that I did was over in the contour bed. I have quite a few in here, and the two from the contour bed, which was only about waist high, produced this much. All of the plants here are still green. Actually, I do see a couple of purple berries up there. But around this way, and sorry if I'm shaking the camera too much, I just want to show you how big an elderberry plant will get. So my hoop houses are about 6.5 foot tall at the top end. So you can tell this particular bush right here is somewhere between 12 and 14 foot tall. And I'm gonna have a difficult time grabbing some of the berries up on the top. And this particular bush, actually all of the ones that I have here that are producing this year are indeterminate, meaning that they produce flowers and fruit over a very long period, versus determinate, where it would be just they flowers all at once and produces fruit all at once. So you can pick it just all at once. So that determinate is what I would probably go for as an elderberry farm versus the indeterminate here. I do see a couple up here that are ripe, but I still have plenty that are completely green, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's still flowers on the backside of this here. So let me go ahead and set up for processing and show you that. Okay, so I have the berries here ready to go. A couple things to point out. I am wearing an old pair of jeans, an older shirt, and I am outside in the garage because I will drop berries. There's no getting around that. And these bad boys will stain up carpet and floors and anything else. So you want to be in an area that you can easily clean up without destroying stuff. So you can see right here, some of these berries are just falling off right there. By the way, my hands will be purple after this as well. So the way that I do it is I just kind of roll my fingers over this and drop them in. And what I'm looking for is as few stems as possible. And if there's any bugs, I'm gonna get them out as well. See, I already dropped, I don't know if it shows up in the video, but I dropped a berry right there. And once you drop them on a level table like this, or unlevel table, they go rolling on off. And some plants, the berries come off easier than other plants. And I found that the John's elderberry, named variety, the berries come off a lot easier without taking any stems with them. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a minute. So in this one, the whole sub piece of the stem came out. And just for brevity, let me go ahead and break this off here, so I'll finish that up later. So what we're looking for is get all the berries off, and then I have a bucket over here that I will go ahead and compost later. And the berries, let's see if I can get up. What I have are all the berries here. I have a couple pieces that I will go ahead and pull out. I see a couple of stems in here, and hopefully this shows up, but there's a stem, just a little piece right there. I try to get every single little piece of stem out. So let me go ahead and process this, and I'll show you what the berries look like in this bowl here once I have all of these processed. All of the elderberries have been removed from the stems, and the stems are ready to go to the compost pile. There's a couple berries that fell off here, and usually there's so much crap and they're shriveled up and unripe ones and branches in there. I just add those to the compost pile. And then these are the ones that I picked, and there were relatively few branches that came off in here and very few bugs and everything. So now I'm going to go in and wash them, and I'll get out anything that I may have missed while I was picking. And I almost forgot to show you my hands here. You can see they're all nice and purple, and they're also a little sticky too. So a little bit of this will come off just with a rinse of water and a little bit more with soap, but I'm gonna have purple hands for a while. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is fill this up with cold water. And a lot of stuff that I want to get out of there will float up to the top before it overfills. So you can see there's a lot of seeds and stuff like that here. Actually, I am going to let it overfill just a little and let that stuff go out. Okay. I'm just going to let it go out. I have a little stopper thing that's kind of like a colander. It'll catch any of the bigger berries. But most of the berries, if they're good, they should sink. Anything that floats, I will get out. And that's about most of it there. So at this point, I'll switch over to a colander, and I'll do just about half here. Maybe not even half, maybe just a third or so. And this will get out any other stems or anything else that I have. Paper towels. I will spread them out on a paper towel. And what I'm looking for is any green berries or any berries with a stem on it. And amazingly, this looks very good here. This is washed off on my hand, put those away. There's a little piece of stem. Okay, let me get in more paper towels. I will dry it off on top, and then we'll pour it into a plastic bag for freezing once they're all dried off. Okay, so got fresh paper towels here. We'll go ahead and dry them off. Everything looks good. I will do a final check, and some of the squashed elderberry and seeds and stuff end up on here, so I'm only going to get one use out of the top paper towel. I usually get 2 or 3 uses out of the bottom paper towels here. And I do see one other stem here. I'll rub that off to the side. And this one that I had earlier, again, I'm still looking for stems. Don't see anything. This was a very good batch. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in a 1 gallon bag here. I put the date 2021 elderberry and the fact that they were washed. And a little thing to help you out when you're pouring stuff in is turn the bag inside out about halfway. And when you do that, it'll hold itself open like that. So when you're working by yourself, oops, get off the bottom, you can form it, fold the paper towel up in half like this, and just dump them in. So the elderberries don't need to be perfectly dry in order for them to not freeze and stick together into like a huge clump, because I may just use small portions of them. Just as long as they're mostly dry, they do a very good job of staying kind of like if you were to flash freeze them on one sheet. So you can pull out individual berries or a cup of berries or something like that. So let me go ahead and finish processing these, and I'll show you the finished product. Well, I have this batch done, and I'm going to go ahead and seal it up here, get most of the air out. And you can see I have maybe a third of a bag here, and what I'll end up doing is just laying it down flat like that and freezing it, actually about a half a bag if you look at it that way. And what it allows me to do is later on this year add more elderberries to it as I get some more. I'm not going to be able to process the rest today because I have an appointment I need to run to. So this allows me to just pick and process as time goes along. And then in the winter time, when I want to make elderberry syrup, I just pull these out and they're good to go, already washed and all set. One additional thing I'm going to label Probably not this year, I don't have to worry about it, but next year I will. I have both American and European varieties. European isn't fruiting this year, hopefully next year it will. So these are all American varieties, which is, I believe it's Sambucus candidata and Sambucus nigra is the European variety. So next year I'll have 2 different varieties, so I will also have to label exactly which one I have, just so I can know which syrup I'm dealing with and keep them separate. So that is it for this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on our Odyssey channel. Thank you very much and have a great day.